Hey everyone, One Big Boss here, and well, I thought I'd take some time off from working on these Street Fighter videos that I've got going on to talk about Resident Evil Revelations and the fact that the trailer has dropped and it's blown people's minds, but it's also got a lot of people worried for pretty much all the right reasons. Now, you all saw, like, that Claire Redfield was going to come back, we got all this stuff and everything, and, people's minds were fucking blown. New characters, new settings, and, everyone's, like, really hyped up about this because, quite frankly, Claire Redfield has not been in a true canon Resident Evil since Code Veronica on the Dreamcast days, pretty much. And, Code Veronica X for the PS2. And I know she's been in the Mercenaries 3D and, Operation Raccoon City and the Dark Side Chronicles, which, there's that, but that's like a retelling, almost, so. But anyway, like, regardless, a lot of people are excited about this game. I'm kind of both 50-50 on it right now. I'm really excited to have Claire back. I am really excited to have a new Resident Evil game coming out that actually looks like survival horror. And like my last video that I mentioned, this is pretty much all because Capcom most likely has seen what Shinji Mikami's doing with The Evil Within, and they realized, we fucked up. We gotta continue this, we gotta get back on track. And if you played the first Revelations, you know that game's actually pretty creepy, and a lot of the stuff in there is just fantastic. Like whether or not, like, you thought it was a great game or stupid and you didn't like it because it wasn't really action-oriented. Personally, I loved it because it wasn't action-oriented like, 5 and 6 were. So, personally, like, that's just my personal preference. But I like the return to the survival horror feel and everything. Who knows how this new game's gonna work. We've seen it. I mean, it looks creepy as hell. And Barry Burton's daughter is in it, which I was like, I like that idea. Because, if you all know, like, Barry Burton is, like, the man. He's, like, one of the most famous Resident Evil characters of all time, and he's only been in, the original Resident Evil remake and the ending of Resident Evil 3, and he was in the Mercenaries Reunion and the 3D Mercenaries game as well for the 3DS. And, that's cool and all, but now we get his daughter, and I'm hearing rumors that, like, he's going to appear in the game most likely, which would be, that'd be freaking great if he is, because he is, like, one of my top favorite Resident Evil characters of all time. He's got the badass Magnum, he's got the cheesy yet memorable one-liners that have spawned memes across the internet for years and shit, and it's just fucking hilarious. I like the fact that she's in there with Claire. They're going to be partnered up and everything. That's going to be really cool to see how that works out. But the thing that bothers me is, the thing that personally hits me hard is the fact that, what do you call it there? We're getting episodic chapters. If you don't know what this means, pretty much, if you're familiar with Telltale and how they do things with their games, like The Walking Dead, Wolf Among Us, and, the Back to the Future game they did and everything, you'll understand that's how they do it. They set up these different chapters, so you gotta wait, like, 2-3 months for the next episode to come out, and the way they ended, like, The Walking Dead games, it's like, it was like, really? You can't end it there, we need more! Like, what's gonna happen next episode? And it was very brilliant of them to do that. Personally, for this way, I don't think it's going to work well for Resident Evil, because, yeah, there were chapters in Revelations, which was really cool. If you stop playing the game and then came back to it, you'll get that, previously on Resident Evil Revelations kind of stuff, little flashback. It was really cool, but I don't think this game is going to benefit doing it like that. Like, my friend, she did make a good point saying, well, if people don't like the game, then they're only going to pay $6 for the first episode and not like it. And I was like, yeah, that's okay. I guess that's one way of looking at it, but still, I want my hard copy of the game. Because obviously, as you can tell, I'm not much of a DLC person. I only usually download DLC games if they're on sale for super cheap, and I get them free on the PSN or Xbox Live Gold. That's what I do. But personally, I'm not liking this idea, because when I get a Resident Evil game, I want to play it in its fullest. I will take time off of work, my photography, everything, to play that game until I beat it. And I did the same thing with Revelations when I finally got my hands on it. The 3D version, 3DS version. I played through that non-stop, and oh, that was such a good game. it was a really, really good game. But I'm just a little hung up about that. I know a lot of people are upset about it too, because what's that going to mean for the rest, like, the time? Like, are we going to have to wait But I did read that, and I'm not sure if it's 100% true, but I was seeing the same thing on a couple different websites, that these are going to be weekly episodes. There's going to be 4 of them, and they're like $5.99 a piece, which, that isn't bad. There will be a full digital release of the game at one point. I think it was set for like $25, I think? I think it was $25. And there's going to be a disc-based hard copy version with extra content and all that stuff, as they were saying. Now, again, don't know how true that all is, because when it comes to the internet, you can just see pretty much anything and people will believe it. But, you know, I think that's a good thing on their part if that is true. I really think that, you know, giving us the disc-based, I mean, it sucks because I'm going to buy both games. You know, I'm going to buy the digital and then I'm going to have the physical copy. And, you know, so Capcom's getting more of my money. Again, I'm not too happy about that, because I'm still not happy about the fact that Resident Evil Remastered is getting a disc-based version in Japan, but PAL and us and everybody else, like, we're just getting digital. So pissed off about it. I went on PlayAsia, and for like $50, I pre-ordered the Biohazard Remastered thing for the PS3, and it will be here in November, so you can expect a really good Let's Play of that. But no, regardless though, that whole episodic thing is really gonna grind me for a long time. If the game is good and does well, then I'll be happy with it. I really will be happy with it. But a lot of people are like, you know, this is just them testing the waters, you know, like, this is like, I'm like, who fucking... So what you're saying is if the first episode flops and everything, they're not going to release the rest of the game that they created? No, that's not how that works. No, I'm not, like I said, I'm not happy about it, but I will wait. I have said this before. I said this a couple years ago when the original 3DS version of Revelations, and then there was the Operation Raccoon City game coming out, because we got 5 and 6, which were, you know, like, it was not the best in the series. You know, there were a lot of problems with them, obviously, especially 6. And I'm not trying to start any crap, so nobody put down in the comments below that you think that I'm an RE6 hater, because I do like RE6 for certain parts of it, that's for sure. But I said that those 2 games, Revelations and Operation Raccoon City, was kind of like Capcom's last chance at doing something right with the series before it's pretty much fucking dead. And then, unfortunately, well, they fucked up Operation Raccoon City. As fun as it is to play with your friends, it really is fun, but the technical problems they had in it and everything, and a lot of the bullshit that was involved, it could have been a much better game. But if you've got friends to play with, and, you know, you can play it with, it's a fun time. It really is a fun time playing that game with friends. But Revelations did pretty well on the 3DS. I mean, so well that it got its a Wii U port, which is the best version of all the consoles. There was the 360, and then there's the PS3. And I gotta say, you know, the PS3 version has a lot of frame rate and glitch issues, like I've had while playing it on there, because I've done the 360 version, and getting the Wii U one at one point, because it's, you know, it's only $16 right now at GameStop, so that's fine by me. But, you know, so now that I've said that, like, those games were the last ones, Revelations kept them afloat for a while, and, you know, but now we've got this Revelations 2 game and Remastered coming out. If both sell well, I can probably picture a Resident Evil 2 happening, like the remake that everybody wants. Still, this game, it is creepy looking. The return to survival horror is pretty great. You know, I'm just a little worried because, yeah, we've seen gameplay trailers, we've seen promotional artwork, we've seen actual screenshots from the game. And sometimes if you look back to how, like, you know, 6 was looking and Resident Evil 5 was looking in magazines back in the day and stuff like that, you're not 100% sure on how to feel about this, because it could change all of a sudden during mid-game. You don't know how these episodes are going to come out. But again, like, this is all just, like, speculation and, like, you know, like, what I fear about the game, but what I also want from the game. The main thing I want from this game, other than it being, you know, a really good game and worth buying twice, is I want Mercenaries to come back in this game. Hard to tell, because Revelations didn't have that. It had Raid Mode, and I gotta tell you, Raid Mode was a really great addition. Raid Mode fit very well in the Resident Evil universe, but Mercenaries, for me, is a lot more fun. But again, regardless, are we gonna get Mercenaries? What are this extra content that we're coming with? You know, obviously Jill and Chris are no longer part of this series anymore. Is the series going to continue off of Revelations? Because you saw how Revelations ended with the characters and the after credits stuff and everything. You'll know that they should have continued that, and hopefully that's what it is into this. And the other problem that I'm running into is a lot of people who are Claire fans and who aren't have made this point. It's like, why add Claire Redfield to this game when her story is pretty much complete? Because in some ways they are true. Claire's only real purpose in the Resident Evil universe was originally to find her brother. Code Veronica happened, and it was to find her brother again, because in 2 she never did. And then Code Veronica, she found. So that's kind of the thing right there. And I can understand people wondering about like why she's in it. But the way to save that is, saying that because she works for TerraSave, this whole thing that's happening with TerraSave right now, they get the boat or wherever they are gets attacked, and the party gets raided by these guys and with guns and shit, and they capture Claire and Myra Burton. So right there, it could be some kind of backlash thing. This is supposed to set between Resident Evil 5 and 6 and everything like that. So it could be like a backlash from something Chris did, or maybe it's something Claire did in the past or whatever. You don't know. Plus, you work for like something like TerraSave. You're gonna piss off a lot of people who are trying to do the bad things. So that's the only reason why I can say why she's in it. Personally, for me, I'm glad she's in it. If she wasn't, I wouldn't be so upset about it. But again, I'm glad they chose a good character and not just some original character that they just created that won't fit the universe that well, because Revelation's characters, the first ones, I feel that most of them fit pretty well into the series. I really do. So that's pretty much my thoughts on Resident Evil Revelations 2, the reaction for the trailer. What do you all think about it? Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think what they're doing is good? Are you excited for the episodic thing? You think it's going to work like it did for the Walking Dead games? Let me know in the comments below, because, like I said, I have mixed feelings about this game. So, as always, everybody, thumbs up the video, like it, all that good stuff. Subscribe because it's free in this day and age. Free's a damn good thing. As always, everybody, thank you for watching. I'm One Big Boss, and I will see you all next time.